Please, yeah.
You have to unmute Swamiji because I have muted all and then.
Swamiji will have to
Yes.
unmute.
Is it audible now?
Yes, yes, perfect.
Let's start.
Oh. Om Sahana Vavato Sahano Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya Mrityave Brahma Vidyacharyaya Nachiketase cha. Humble prostrations to one and all. So in the last class we had seen Nachiketa reaches Yamaloka. He had to wait there for 3 days and 3 nights without having food because Yamaraj was not there. So finally Yamaraj comes after 3 days, and when he comes to know that there is a Brahmana Atithi who is waiting there without food outside his house. So he comes to Nachiketa, washes his feet, does his puja, expresses his regret, and then he says, I give you 3 boons for this mistake which has happened from my part. You have to suffer. So for that, I am a Devata, I have this power. So therefore you can ask 3 boons from me. So what is the first boon he asked? So he asked, it was all regarding his father. So he said, Oh Mrityu, my father, I know his mind is extremely agitated. So in the first boon, I ask this from you. May that disturbance in his mind get quietened. May he have good sleep. May his mind be peaceful. And left by you when I return back, may he recognize me, talk to me. So this is the first boon I ask from you. So then Yamaraj said, Tathastu, may it be so. So thus first boon is over. Now let us see what Nachiketa asked for his second boon. So this comes as verse number 12, page number 26. Swarge loke na bhayam kinchanasti na tatratvam na jaraya bibheti ubhetirtva asanaya pipase shokatigo modate swargaloke. So what is Nachiketa asking here? So this is the second boon he's asking. So he says, O Lord, I have heard about Swargaloka. What is it that I have understanding about this Swargaloka? Swarge loke bhayam kinchana na asti. In Swargaloka, I have heard that there is absolutely no fear of any kind. There is no fear at all. And na tatratvam, in Swargaloka, you are not there. You are not there means what? Means death is not there. There is nothing called death. In Swargaloka, there is no death. Na jaraya bibheti. And one need not be afraid of old age. These are all the problems of this world. But in Swargaloka, there is no death. There is no death. There is no old age. There is no fear of anything. And also, ubhe tirtva ashanaya pipase. Ashana and pipasa. Ashana means hunger. Pipasa means thirst. So in this Swargaloka, you go beyond both hunger and thirst. Now, does it mean that there is no hunger and thirst in Swargaloka? If there is no hunger and thirst, then it will be a big disadvantage, because one of the greatest joys of this world is eating. Yes or no? So many varieties of food we can have. Punjabi, Gujarati, Marathi, South Indian, North Indian, Italian, Mexican. All this because we have hunger. So if Swargaloka doesn't have hunger, then it's a big disadvantage. Okay. So here we have to understand. So what is written here is, it is not said hunger and thirst is not there. What is written here is Ubhe tirtva, going beyond. Means what? Hunger and thirst will be there, but it will not be a problem in Swargaloka, because you have enough to eat and drink, and all that which you like, you get it there. So this is the way we have to understand. Ubhe tirtve ashanaya pipase shokatigaha. Shokatigaha means going beyond all sorrows. Modate swargaloke. In Swargaloka, that person rejoices. So, oh Lord, this is what I have understood about Swargaloka. There is no old age, there is no death, hunger and thirst is not a problem, there is no what you call disturbance of any kind, sorrow of any kind, fear of any kind. So this is what I have understood about Swarga. So then Lord Yamraj asked Nachiketa, what is it that you want to know? Tell me. So the next verse, he asks what he exactly wants from Yamraj. Verse number 13, page number 28. Satvamagnim swargyam adhyeshi mrityo prabrohitam shraddadhanaya mahyam Swargaloka amrutatvam bhajante etadvitiyena vrine varena. O Lord, he Mrityo, O Yamraj, sa tvam swargyam agnim adheshi. I have heard that this knowledge of how to reach Swargaloka, this knowledge which is called as Agni Vidya, I have heard that you know it. The way to reach Swargaloka, that knowledge is called Agni Vidya. Satvam Swargyam Agnim, that Agni Vidya which is Swargyam, which takes a person to Swarga. Adheshi, I have heard that you know it. So therefore, Tvam Prabruhi, I want to gain that knowledge to reach Swargaloka. Oh Lord, I am fully qualified for it. What is the qualification I have? Shraddha dhanaya mahyam. I am full of faith. So the qualification necessary for reaching Swargaloka is, first of all, you must have faith that there is something called Swargaloka. Very many people don't even have the faith. Then where is the question of reaching there? So the first qualification is, you must have faith, Shraddha, in the existence of Swargaloka. Second thing, you must have faith in Agni Vidya, that this particular Vidya will take me to Swargaloka. And third, you must have faith in the teacher also, isn't it? The one who is giving this Agni Vidya. So, Nachiketa says, O Lord, Shraddha Dhanaya Mahyam, I have full faith. I have faith in the scriptures. I have faith that such a world exists. I have faith in this knowledge, Agni Vidya, and I also have faith in you. I truly trust you. So therefore, I would like to gain this knowledge. Nachiketa, why do you want this knowledge? Bhagavan, I want this knowledge because Swargalokaha Amrutatvam bhajante. Any person who reaches Swargaloka, he attains Amrutatvam, that state of immortality. Therefore, Dvitiyena varena etat vrane. So, second boon, I ask this from you. Please give this knowledge, this Agni Vidya to me. Now, here, one point we have to specifically note, it is said Swargalokaha Amrutatvam bhajante. A person who attains Swargaloka becomes immortal. Now, please understand, it is only a, what you call, a temporary immortality. It is not permanent immortality. Means what? It is something like saying he got a permanent job in the government. Now, is it a permanent job? Permanent job means what? Till death you must get it. So even the permanent job is not actually permanent. After a particular age, maybe 60, 65, you have to retire. But still we call it permanent job, isn't it? In the same way, this immortality is not permanent. So it is said that when you are in Swargaloka, the more and more you indulge in all these pleasures, all your punya, they start, decreasing. And once the punyas are over, kshine punye martya lokam vishanti. Once all the punyas are over, you come back to this martya loka, this world. So this is the law. So that itself says that it is not immortality. Immortality means what? Deathlessness. It's an infinite state. So it is a temporary state. This is what we have to understand. A person cannot remain in Swargaloka for infinite period of time. It's not possible because he has attained Swargaloka because of his punya karma. Every karma is limited. So therefore, every karma phala also has to be limited. Karma is limited, therefore karma phala is limited. So a person cannot remain in Swargaloka for infinite period of time. Right? So he has to come back. So it is only a temporary immortality which is mentioned here. So Nachiketa says, Bhagavan, I know that you know this knowledge, Agni Vidya, to reach Swargaloka. So this is my second boon. Please give this knowledge to me. I would like to gain this knowledge of how to reach Swargaloka. So what does Yamaraj say? That is the next verse. Verse number 14, page number 30. Prate bravimi tadume nibodha swargamagnim nachiketah prajanan anantalokaptim atho pratishtham vidhi tvametam nihitam guhayam. Yes. What does Yamaraj say? Te prabravimi. Nachiketa, definitely yes. I will fulfill this desire of yours. I will definitely tell you. In detail, exhaustively, I will tell you. Prabravimi. Te prabravimi. Tat swargyam agnim me nibodha. May you learn from me that Agni Vidya which leads to Swarga. Swargyam means that which leads to Swarga. That is called as Swargyam. Agnim. What is Agni? Here we are not talking of some fire. It is Agni Vidya. That knowledge is called Agni Vidya. That knowledge with which a person reaches Swarga. So, Tat Swargyam Agnim Meni Bodha. May you gain this knowledge from me. Prajanan, because I know it. I know it very well. So therefore, I am qualified to give you this knowledge to you. I can tell you because I know it. Prajanan. And what is the glory of this knowledge? Anantalokaptim. It can give you that world which is infinite. Anantalokaptim. Pratishtham. It is the very foundation, support for the whole world to exist. Tvam etam guhayam nihitam vidhi. Know that this knowledge is there in the hearts of all the wise people. The wise people, they know it. It is there. So every knowledge is in our heart only. Knowledge, it is in the heart of all the wise people. Then giving this knowledge to Nachiketa in the next verse, verse number 15, page number 32. Lokadimagastasmai ya ishtaka yavatirva yathava sachapi tat pratyavadat yathoktam athasya mrityuh punarevahatushtaha. Tam lokadim agnim, that Agni Vidya, which is the source of the whole universe. Tasmai uvacha, to Nachiketa, Yamaraj gave. And how did Yamaraj give this knowledge? He gave it elaborately, to such an extent that even the most, what they call, insignificant, not very important details also were mentioned. What are those details? For example, Ya Ishtaka. So while doing this ritual, Agni Vidya, there is a ritual, it's a fire ritual. So there is a Homa Kunda, and in that Homa Kunda, you have to offer so many things. So that particular fireplace has to be arranged. They have to be arranged with certain bricks, etc. So what kind of bricks you have to use? Of what length, of what breadth, of what size, of what material? So these details were given. What kind of ishtaka, what kind of brick you have to use? Yavati hiva, how many bricks you have to use? Yathava, how these bricks have to be arranged. Even such, insignificant, not very important detail also was given by Yamaraj. Exhaustively he explained how this Agni Vidya has to be done. And then Sachapi, what was the attitude of Nachiketa when this knowledge was given? Tat pratyavadati. So finally, after giving everything, Yamaraj asked Nachiketa, Nachiketa, have you understood? Whatever I have said, have you understood? This boy, pratyavadati, every word, he just repeated. Such was his memory power, such was his attention, his concentration, that whatever Yamaraj said, in whatever way he explained the entire Agni Vidya, he reproduced it verbatim as they. Tat pratyavadati yathauktam, as was taught. Asya mrityuhu tushtaha. Yamaraj, when he heard this from Nachiketa, he was extremely happy. Because this boy was paying full attention to whatever was said, listening with total attention, total interest, with total faith, concentration, etc. So Yamaraj was so happy. Punaha eva aha. So therefore Yamaraj, after giving this knowledge, listening to this Vidya from Nachiketa, he was so happy. Yamaraj spoke these words. What did Yamaraj say? Next verse, verse number 16, page number 34. Tamabravit priyamano mahatma varam tavehadya dadami bhuyah tavaiva namna bhavitayam agnihi srunkam chemam aneka rupam grihana. So Yamaraj spoke these words, extremely pleased with Nachiketa. What did he say? That Mahatma, Yamaraj is called Mahatma here, the great soul. That Mahatma Priyamanaha, extremely pleased. Tam abravit, he spoke. What did he say? Tava iha adya bhuyaha varam dadami. Nachiketa, I am so pleased with you that I want to give you one more boon. He was so happy, Yamaraj was so happy that he said, I will give you one more boon. And what is it? Tavaiva namna bhavita iyam agnihi. In the future, this Agni Vidya will be known by your name. This boon, these blessings I give you. In the future, this Vidya will not be known as Agni Vidya. It will be known as Nachiketa Vidya. In your name, this Vidya will be known. That is the blessing which Yamaraj gives. Tava iha adya bhuyavaram dadami tavaiva namna bhavitayam agnihi imam aneka rupam shrinkam grihana. So at that time, Yamaraj was wearing a what you call a necklace or something, a mala, studded with gems and jewels, etc. So Yamaraj, he was so pleased, he removed that garland and gave it to Nachiketa. That precious, precious mala, that necklace, he gives to Nachiketa. He was so pleased. So this is the greatness of Yamaraj, you know. That's why it is called Mahatma here. Yamaraj is termed as Mahatma. Mahatma means what? Great soul, means he is giving and giving, giving and giving. You see, he is not only giving knowledge, and he is not jealous of the student also. See, sometimes what happens, the teacher becomes jealous of the student. Many times what happens is, as far as the worldly knowledge is concerned, the teacher doesn't give all knowledge to the student because he doesn't want his student to outsmart him. So here, see the greatness of Yamaraj. First of all, his humility. He comes and does the Pada Puja of Nachiketa. That itself is greatness. And after that, he gives knowledge. And when he finds a perfect student, he is so happy. He is ready to give more and more. That is why Yamaraj's name is, here it is marked as Mahatma, a great souled one. Okay. Now, the glory of this Agni Vidya is mentioned in the next verse, verse number 17, page number 35. Now, we are going fast here because so many verses we are covering. Why is it that we are covering so fast? One reason is there is nothing much to explain. Second reason is, remember, the topic of Kathopanishad is not Agni Vidya. The topic of Upanishad is Brahma Vidya, which is going to come later. Later, Yamaraj himself is going to say that this Brahma Vidya is superior to all other Vidyas, including Agni Vidya. Going to Swarga is not the highest knowledge. Becoming liberated is the highest knowledge. Because just because you go to Swarga doesn't mean that you are liberated. You are still bound only. Brahma Vidya alone can liberate you. So therefore, this is an inferior knowledge. So we don't have to worry too much about what this Agni Vidya is, etc. Okay. Right. So now the glory of this Agni Vidya is mentioned. Verse number 17, page number 35. Trinachiketasтрibhiretya sandhim trikarmakrit tarati janma mrityu brahmajatnyam devamedyam viditva nichayema shantimatyantameti. Yes, what is the glory of this Agni Vidya and how it should be practiced? All those things are mentioned here. Trinachiketaha, the one who performs this Agni Vidya. Now see, Yamaraj himself is terming this Agni Vidya as Trinachiketa Vidya, Nachiketa Vidya, because he only has said that this Vidya will be known by your name. So first, Yamaraj himself is uttering that Vidya as Nachiketa Vidya. So Trinachiketaha means the one who does this particular ritual 3 times. Trinachiketaha. Trinachiketaha, one who does it 3 times. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya gives another meaning for Trinachiketa. He says, first, knowing it. Second, reflecting upon it. And third, doing it. So 3 steps are involved in this. Knowing it, reflecting upon it, and then doing it. So that meaning also can be taken. Trinachiketaha. Then Tribhi Sandhim Etya, being associated with the 3. What are those 3 that we will discuss later? So the one who performs this Vidya 3 times, this ritual 3 times, and the one who is associated with the 3, Tribhi Sandhim Etya, 3 karma krit, the one who performs these 3 karmas. What are the 3 karmas? We will discuss later. Such a person, what happens to him? Janma mrityu tarati. He crosses over birth, death. Remember, it is temporarily because it is only Swarga. temporarily he becomes free from Janma Mrityu, birth and death, because thousands and thousands of years you remain there. So it is almost like temporarily you are free from birth and death. Brahmajatnyam idyam devam viditva nichaya imam atyantam shantim eti. That person, viditva, knowing that Supreme Lord. Who is that Lord? Idyam devam, that Lord who is worshipful. Brahmajatnyam, that Lord who is omniscient. That Lord, viditva, knowing. Nichaya, meditating upon him. Imam atyantam shantim eti. Such a person attains absolute peace. So now, here there are some of the terms which we need to discuss. So first is Trinachiketaha. So that is very clear. Doing this ritual 3 times. Knowing, reflecting and doing it. Now this term comes Tribhiretya Sandhim. Tribhihi Sandhim Etya. Being associated with the 3. Now what are those 3 things? So now, according to Bhagavan Shankaracharya, these 3 things can be 3. There can be 3 options for these 3 things. They are all nothing but the different sources of knowledge. So what are they? First, Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, it is possible that it is Matru Pitru Acharyehi Sandhim Etya. This is first option. Matru Pitru Acharya. Mother, father, teacher or guru. So this is one possibility. Triplet. So there is something we have to learn from mother. There is something we have to learn from father. And there is something totally different which we have to learn from the teacher or guru. These 3 entities teach us different things. So the one who is fortunate to be blessed by all the 3. This is one meaning. Tribhiretya Sandhim, one meaning. The second meaning, or Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Veda Smriti Shishtehi Sandhim Etya. The second possibility. What is the second possibility? What are the triplets? Veda, Smriti, Shishta. Veda means Shruti. Shruti, Smriti, Shishta. Shruti means what? Vedas. So what is the difference between Shruti and Smriti? We have discussed this earlier also. Shruti is that which is heard. All the Veda mantras, they come under Shruti. Because it is not composed by someone, it is a revealed knowledge, revealed to great rishis. So they are called as Shruti or Vedas. So this is one source of knowledge. Second one is Smriti. Smriti means what? Somebody has composed it from his own memory. Right? For example, Veda Vyasa Rishi has composed Bhagavatam. So that will come under Smriti. Somebody sat and wrote. Smriti. So that is another source of knowledge. And Shishta. Shishta means the wise people in the society. There are so many things we learn from them also, isn't it? The wise people in the society. There are so many things we learn not from books, but from matured people, wise people, enlightened people. We learn so many things. So these are the 3 sources of knowledge. So this is the second option. Shruti, Smriti, Shishta. The third option. What is the third option? Pratyaksha Anumana Agamaihi Sandhim Etya. Pratyaksha, Anumana and Agama. This is also 3 sources of knowledge. What is Pratyaksha? Pratyaksha means Prati Aksha, that is in front of our sense organs. You gain the knowledge through your sense organs. So for example, there is this flower. How do I gain the knowledge of its color and form? Through my eyes, isn't it? So I am gaining the knowledge. The smell, Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha, this knowledge, this information I gain through my sense organ. This is called as Pratyaksha. This is one way to gain knowledge. What is the second way to gain knowledge? Anumana. Anumana means the method of inference. What is this method of inference? You study it You understand the law and you apply the law and gain the knowledge. This is called as Anumana. I'll give an example. For example, the law is wherever there is smoke, there is fire. It's a law. Agreed? Yes. Yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra agnihi. It's a law. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. Now, on the top of the mountain, far, far away, you are seeing smoke. You're not seeing fire. You're only seeing smoke. So then what do? You apply this law there and then come to the conclusion, there is definitely fire on the mountain. You see, you're not seeing it. Pratyaksha is not working, but you have a law with you. You have studied a law, you are applying the law, and then you are gaining a very important information. All the science is based on this thing only. You study, you then understand, you come out with a law. It can be so many laws, electrical laws, mechanical laws, all these different branches. It's all full of laws. And then you apply the law and then gain the information, gain the knowledge. So this is called as Anumana. So Pratyaksha, in fact, 90% of our knowledge is Anumana only, not Pratyaksha. There are so many things which we are not able to see, hear, etc. But through proper studies, we are able to gain knowledge regarding it. So Pratyaksha, that is one source of knowledge. Anumana, that is second source of knowledge. And the third one is Agama. Agama means scriptures. Scriptures. There are so many things which we cannot know even by applying laws. For example, Swargaloka, is it there or not? You can't apply a law and find out. That only the scriptures have to say. Brahman, you can't apply any law. Whether God is there or not, no law can be applicable there. Then for that, scriptures are necessary. So they are called as Agama Pramanam. One is that's a means of knowledge. How to gain this knowledge, whether God is there or not, Swarga is there or not, Punya Papa is there or not, Naraka, etc. is there or not. How do you know? So we say, we know it because it is said in the scriptures. Whatever is said in the scriptures, it is true. We have faith. So these are the third option. So what is the first one? Father, mother, guru. What is the second one? Shruti, Smriti, Shishta. Third one, Pratyaksha, Anumana, Agama. So one or the second or the third, they're all different possibilities. So this is how this has to be understood. Tribhiretya Sandhi means being associated with the three. These three triplets, any of these can be suitable. In short, the point is this: the one who has the proper understanding, knowledge, because they are all different sources of knowledge, right? Then the third term is Trikarma Krit. Krit, the doer of three karmas. Trikarma Krit. So what are the three karmas? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, Ijya Adhyayana Dananam Karta. These are the three things we must do. What are the three things? Ijya. Ijya means actually rituals. In short, worshipping the Lord. This everybody should do. Ijya. Adhyayana. Adhyayana means study the scriptures. So worship the Lord, study the scriptures, and then dana. Dana means charity. So this is the way we have to live in our life. Study the scriptures, gain clear understanding about what life is, worship the Lord, and then what kind of action we should perform? Actions which are of the nature of serving others. That is called as dhanam. Whatever abilities and talents Bhagavan has blessed us, may we use these abilities and talents to serve everyone. So these are the three types of actions we must do. Worship the Lord, study the scriptures, and serve everyone with our right understanding. So this is Trikarma Krit. So what is said here? The one who does this ritual, the one who has this clear understanding based on the right sources of knowledge, such a person, Janma Mrityu Tarati, he crosses over birth and death, and such a person, Shantim Atyantameti, he attains supreme peace. He attains Swargaloka and attains all these things. This is the meaning. Right. So these are all the glory of Agni Vidya. Again, the glory continues. Verse number 18, page number 37. Trinachiketasत्रयमेतत् viditva ya evam vidvanschinuते nachiketam samrityupashan puratah pranodya shokatigo modate swargaloke. Such a person, Trinachiketah, such a person who has done this 3 times, this particular ritual, Vidwan, after knowing this ritual properly, Evam etat trayam viditva, knowing these 3. What are the 3 things? So number 1, earlier as it was said, what kind of brick has to be used, how it should be arranged, how many numbers should be used, etc. So these are the 3 information. So evam etatrayam viditva, knowing this, nachiketam chinute, the one who does this ritual, sahatrinachiketah, what happens to him? Puratah, before dropping this body, mrityupashan pranodya, destroying the cords of death, destroying the fetters of death, the bondage of death, shokatigah, being free from sorrow, swargaloke modate, he rejoices in the swargaloka. He attains swargaloka. Right? Verse number 19, conclusion of this particular one, page number 39. Eshate agnirnachiketasvargyah yamavrinitha dvitiyena varena etamagnim tavaiva pravakshanti janasah tritiyam varam nachiketo vrinishva. Nachiketa, eshate swargyaha agnihi. Here is your Agni Vidya, capable of giving you swarga. Yam dvitiyena varena avranitha. This is what you had asked from your second boon. How to attain that swargaloka? Please give me that Agni Vidya. This is what I have given to you. Etam agnim tava eva iti pravakshanti janasah. People will say, people will, what you call, name this particular Vidya by your name. This particular Vidya will be famous by your name. Nachiketah tritiyam varam vrinishva. Oh, Nachiketa, now you can ask your third boon. Right? So, here that second boon is over. So now you don't have to get worried what this Agni Vidya is, etc. This is not the important topic of this Upanishad. It is just mentioned only. Now a question may come, Swamiji, in this age, is there someone who is interested in Swargaloka, etc.? See, just now only Amma was asking, Swamiji, are you excited that you are going to US? For us, Swargaloka is going to US, UK, Australia, etc. Why do we consider that as Swargaloka? Comparatively, better lifestyle, more comforts, more conveniences, etc. Isn't it? And we are seeing it, therefore we believe that such a place is there. Why is it that people are not desiring to go to Swargaloka? See, the first thing is, we don't believe that there is such a place. We think that this is just some cock and bull story. So if you don't have faith, how can you desire something which you can't even, you don't even trust or believe? First reason is we don't believe that such a world exists. The second reason is the necessary condition for going to Swargaloka is you must die. Right? But anyway, we have to die. So here, It is not that the person goes and dies and then he goes. It's not like that. Anyway, we have to die after death. What should be my future? So therefore, you are preparing here for your after death situation. Really speaking, if suppose, there be some proof that you can prove Swargaloka, its existence, etc. Tell me, who is a person who will not desire to go there? Given these descriptions, what is the description given? There is no old age. What a wonderful thing. There is no disease. What a wonderful thing. There is no death. And you can eat anything and everything, and you will never fall sick. Such a wonderful thing. Who will not desire it? Isn't it? Swargaloka is something which all of us desire. There is nobody who doesn't desire whatever is mentioned here. But the thing is, there is no proof of its existence. For that, what is the only qualification? The only qualification is trust. Shraddhadhanaya mahyam. So here Nachiketa says, oh Lord, I fully trust whatever is said in the scriptures. If the scriptures are saying that there exists Swargaloka, then it has to be there. Why should the scriptures unnecessarily lie? All the other things said in scriptures, it is true. So therefore, this also has to be true. So this faith has to be there. So naturally, everyone will desire this. So this is another point which we have to remember. Now, please understand one thing. What is actually the Swargaloka? You have to understand this one thing properly. So really speaking, where do we live? Are we living in the world or are we living in our mind? The fact is, we are all living in our mind alone, in our thoughts. There are so many people living in one particular city, but some are miserable. I mean, most of them are miserable. Very rare few are happy. Why is it so? If the world is the source of happiness, then the world should decide happiness. We find that it is not the world which is actually the source of happiness. It is the state of the mind which gives happiness. So now the most important question is how to create a beautiful mind in such a way that I am always living in bliss, happiness, surrounded by peace. This is the most important question. So whatever we have discussed, it is nothing but right understanding in such a way that I have a healthy, noble, peaceful, divine mind. That's all what we have discussed till now. This Agni Vidya is nothing but that. Right. So that is why ritual is not, see, the ritual was never given any importance here. That is why Yamaraj did not explain the ritual. What is more important is not the ritual. What is more important is your attitude behind the ritual. So when you are doing a ritual, when that heart is filled with devotion for the Lord, who is the creator of the universe, who is the creator of all of us, when that heart is filled with love and devotion, gratitude, humility, etc., naturally you are in Swargaloka only. And remember one thing, after death, where will we go? Wherever we go, one thing is for sure, our Sukshma Sharira will be with us. The Sthula Sharira, the physical body, will not be with us, accepted, but our mind will be always with us. Our intellect will be always with us. Our samskaras will be always with us. Our way of thinking, everything will be with us. So actually speaking, we are living in our own thought world. Actually, even now, in this world also, we are living in our thought world only. So a person who has cultivated his mind to think divine thoughts, he will be living in Swarga even when he is living in this Martyaloka. He is living in Swarga only. After death, where will he go? If he has created Swarga here, after death also, he will continue to remain in Swarga alone. This has to be understood. So don't think that Swarga is going to some world and all that. Whichever world you go, one thing is for sure. If your mind is happy, you are happy. If your mind is miserable, you are miserable. So the techniques of creating a beautiful mind is what is called as this Agni Vidya, nothing else. That's all we have to understand. Right. So in that, the most important thing is worship the Lord from whom everything has come. Trikarma Krit. Worship the Lord. gain the right understanding about life. That is also important. And then with this right understanding, serve everyone, make others happy. When you make others happy, you automatically become happy. This is a law of this universe. Serve everyone with whatever talents and abilities are given to you. So this is what is called as, really speaking, Agni Vidya. Meaning what? Gain happiness by making your mind, by reforming your mind, by purifying your mind, by giving good samskaras to your mind. This is Agni Vidya in short. Okay. Now the third boon, now Nachiketa is asking about Brahma Vidya. Right? So that we will take up in the next class. So any questions?
Any questions? Friends, please go ahead, raise your hand. Swamiji can have.
Thank you, Swamiji. As always, very interesting session. Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you.
Okay, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Any questions? Friends, please raise your hands. Okay, so no questions today.
No, Shrija has raised.
Okay,
Shrija ask.
Yes. So you mentioned that death, basically, even here in this shloka, it's written that death is the death of all the vasanas, of all the lower things that we create in the mind. But it doesn't happen. Like, we have to die to go to heaven, right? So we have to die to continuously be in this lower emotional frequency to be able to experience heaven. But the mind has a tendency to fall back in the trap. So what can be done to continuously, clean and practice and have that mind and die to these tendencies? Yeah.
So first question is, why is it that the mind is again and again falling back? Why is it falling back? It is falling back because it has become a habit for the mind to entertain negative thoughts, impure thoughts. It has become a habit. See, very many times we are not even aware that mind is entertaining negative thoughts. So consciously and unconsciously, we have been entertaining negative thoughts for such a long time. Now it has become as though our second nature, that we are not even aware that such a thing is going on. So now in sadhana, in spiritual sadhana, consciously you are putting forth effort in replacing the negative thought with the positive thought. The moment you stop putting forth effort, what happens? It goes back. Just like you are pushing a rock on top of the mountain. What happens when you stop effort? It will go back. Isn't it? Whatever has become natural to you will happen in you. This is a law. Whatever has become effortless, natural in you will happen in you. So anything which I have made a habit in me, that will become natural in me, effortless in me. So how to make something effortless and natural? Constantly work on it. Make it a habit. So make it a habit to entertain good thoughts. A time will come when good thoughts are just flowing in you effortlessly and spontaneously without any effort. But remember, this will not come without effort. First effort, then become a habit. Then after that, relax.
Thank you, Swamiji.
Right.
Yes, Nidhi.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Ma.
More than a question, it's just an understanding of what we're doing, what we are learning today. That when we said that we will only if we have faith and trust do we believe that about heaven is when we will aspire to go there. But what I feel is that the fear of dying is so strong that however much you may allure the individual with all the virtues that we say are present in heaven, the fear will hold you back. What if it is not reality? Yes, trust factor comes there again, but fear of leaving a body is very strong with the mortals that we are here.
Yes, yes, yes.
What should we do? So what is it that we can work with to get us out of this fear? Because it's a reality, it's a cycle that we are a part of, whether we agree to it or do not agree to it, whether we want it or we don't want it. There is no choice that we have. If
Correct.
we are born, we will die.
Yes.
But like a lot of times you're reminded that you're constantly fearful of dying. Therefore, in that event of living the whole life in fear, you forget to live.
Hmm.
What if I die tomorrow? What if something happens because COVID has happened? What if I die because of COVID? All of these thoughts.
Yes.
So what is it that we can work with to get us away from the fear and look forward to that what is the evident and the obvious?
See, this fear of death is an auspicious beginning in spirituality. There are so many people who ignore this fact. Yes or no?
Yeah.
They just don't want to discuss anything about death. They don't want to speak about that. The moment this topic comes, they say, no, 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 don't talk about it.
Yes.
Just by not talking about it, just by ignoring it, you are not, you are not escaping from the reality.
Right.
So the best thing is, let us face it. Death is going to come. Someday or the other, I have to die. If not today, tomorrow. So then what is the solution? So I will tell you, you are attending this class only because of that fear of death. So isn't it a great blessing that we become serious about life?
Yes.
We think about how to consciously, how to productively use our life in such a way that a time should come when we are just welcoming death cheerfully without any kind of fear. You see, that comes
Very
only
true.
with the right knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, all our studies, because of that only, someday or the other, I have to leave the body. Let me leave the body cheerfully, happily, with the right knowledge. And that will not happen if you always escape discussing death.
Very true.
Isn't it?
Very
So this fear of death is a great blessing. See, all these negative things, don't think that it is, you see, the entire Bhagavad Gita starts with what? Arjuna Vishada Yoga. He goes into depression, Vishada. He starts meditating, my God, all my near and dear ones are going to die. Even I may die. You see, it is the fear of death. It puts him into complete depression. See, that becomes an auspicious beginning for the great teaching.
Wow. Wow.
So
Well, thank you for changing the perspective in looking at the entire thing, both the
yes,
class as well as the study of the Bhagavad Gita.
yes,
Wow.
yes.
Thank you.
So it's a great blessing. Don't think that it is something negative. In fact, you are on the right track. If the fear of death is there, you are on the right track. If there is no fear of death, then there is some problem with you.
Then there will be recklessness, I think, if there is no fear of death.
You see, they say that there is a bird, in the desert. The moment it sees some animal coming towards it, it just buries its head into the sand and thinks that the problem is solved. Most of us are that kind of, we just ignore the real problem and we busy ourselves with a lot of entertainments and jokes and comedies, etc. The problem is still there. You are just doing time pass. Just by distracting the mind from the realities of life, that is not yes, temporarily, yes, you are relaxed. But we don't want a temporary solution. We want a permanent solution. And that is why all these studies are important.
Thank you so much. Amazing. Thank you very much, Swamiji. Thank you.
Right.
Sonali, please go ahead.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, when you said there's no fear of death, there can also be an acceptance of death. Okay, yes, death is going to be there and it's a part of the cycle.
See, there is something called, helpless acceptance. What to do? Therefore, I accept. It is a cheerless acceptance. It's not a cheerful acceptance. There's a huge difference.
But there can be cheerful acceptance also, that it has to be a part of that cycle, which we have to cross out.
Only with knowledge you can cheerfully accept death. If you don't have knowledge, you helplessly accept death. You know, no other choice. Now what to do? That is not what the scriptures say. The scriptures say you must cheerfully face death and accept death. How does that cheerfulness come? It comes from the knowledge that actually I am not dying. It is only the body which has to die. I remain deathless. This knowledge is taking away the fear of death. There is no death for me. Body will die, but my existence will continue.
Right, Swamiji.
This is what makes a person cheerful.
Cheerful acceptance of death. Yes, it is.
Yes.
Yes. The step.
Thank you, Sonali. Rahul, please go ahead.
Swamiji. Swamiji, I had this question that is the purpose of the study of the Kathopanishad to become comfortable with death?
The purpose of Kathopanishad is to make you aware that you are deathless. You are immortal. Death is only for the body. Body is only your instrument. It is not you. Like your pen or a watch or a specs. It is your instrument. You are not that. You are just using it. For some time you use this body while dealing with the worldly transactions. And after that you drop the body. You are not the body. That is the message of Kathopanishad. So try to understand that you are that consciousness which has nothing to do with the body. Once you know this, then you think you will start, experiencing that this body is like a shadow. It has nothing to do with you. The real you is totally different from the body. So then what happens? You experience the state of deathlessness, and thus you become free from the fear of death.
Okay, we have one more question. Questioner Yogi ji.
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Yogi ji, you have to unmute yourself and then speak.
Swamiji.
Yes.
Swamiji, I want to know that what is the importance मानव जीवन की श्रेष्ठता क्यों मानी गई है? It's a slightly digression from this, but अब जैसे यमराज कहते हैं कि आप त्रिनाचिकेता यज्ञ करिए तो उसमें आपको स्वर्ग मिलेगा, लेकिन स्वर्ग क्यों ना जाए? क्योंकि क्रम मुक्ति भी तो शास्त्रों में बताई गई है। और ऑफ कोर्स मतलब क्या हम वहां पे जाके क्या अपनी साधना नहीं कर सकते? क्योंकि वो तो सारे देवता तो बहुत अच्छी तरह खड़े हो जाते हैं जब सिद्धार्थ वो लेते हैं, तो वो उसमें फूल बरसाते हैं, और कोई भी अच्छा काम होता है तो वो करते हैं, तो उसके बाद उनको उसका पुण्य मिलके वो आगे क्यों नहीं जा सकते? क्या क्रम मुक्ति एक मतलब it's not real, or is it also a possibility?
See, which one do you prefer, Krama Mukti or Sadhya Mukti? Sadhya Mukti means immediate. Once you gain knowledge, you are right there. Krama Mukti means you go to different worlds, Bhuhu, Bhuaha, Suaha, Mahaha, Janaha, Tapaha, and crores of years. But why unnecessarily go through all that? It is like, from say Kanyakumari to Kashmir, you have to go. You are visiting all the different places, and slowly, walking, you are going. That is one way. Another way is take a flight and land there, which is better.
Direct flight.
Sadhya Mukti is that. And we are in the path of Sadhya Mukti. We are not interested in all this Krama Mukti, etc. Choice is yours. That freedom is given.
Ji Swamiji. Ji. Thank you so much.
Right. Hari Om.
Okay, we have, I think, the last one here. Monica, please go ahead.
Yogi ji, you'll have to mute yourself.
We'll have to mute him.
Yes.
Yes.
Namaskar, Swamiji.
Yes, Amma.
Pranam. So my question here is something that came in my mind right now while listening to this, is that sometimes too much attachment to somebody in this mortal world also makes us not desire Swarga and leave that attachment.
Too much
Move
attachment, too
too
much
much
attachment.
attachment, some attachment to somebody is giving us so much bliss that we are not ready to leave that and desire Swarga. In that case,
No. You want to go to Swarga along with that person.
maybe. Yes, maybe.
You cannot be desireless of Swarga. See, Swarga, no death, no, everything is wonderful. So you want to be in Swarga with that person, isn't it?
Maybe, yes.
It's not that you don't want Swarga. Nobody can dislike Swarga. Nobody.
But then it's the feeling comes that in Swarga, obviously that person will not be there. So.
See, okay, fine. You may desire that. But remember one
In
thing.
that case, the desire for Swarga is less than the desire for that person.
Now you have to decide, what do you want? Do you want that person or do you want Swarga? Whatever you desire, it will happen to you. But let me tell you one thing. If you are attached to a person, that person will be the one who will give you maximum misery also. This is a fact of life. Maximum suffering comes from the person whom you are maximum attached to.
So this is a hindrance in our spiritual journey?
Yes. Yes. You are telling God, oh God, I don't want you. I want this world. I want this person.
We try to overcome this desire, this attachment, but at times this doesn't go away.
True.
You are aware of it. Your knowledge is there. You know the ultimate. But somehow this attachment doesn't go away. If you want that attachment to go away, but it exists.
True. See, the child is so busy with the toy, the child has forgotten its mother. Is it right? We are so attached with people around that we forget our creator who has given everything. So there is a mistake from our part. It is because of this that we suffer due to that attachment. Every suffering has some mistake from our part. Suffering comes because of mistake. And the mistake is forgetfulness of God who has given us everything.
Thanks, Swamiji. We have one more person.
Yes.
Please raise your. Please ask.
Hari Om Swamiji.
Hari Om, Hari Om.
Your explanations really touched my heart today, and I just want to ask one question. This particular thought of death is painful, or like something very, very horrible. Is it because this death is associated with some kind of pain? Because death is very painful, and how to eliminate that fear of that pain associated with the death? Like I'd like to explain a little bit more. Like for dying, a person has to either meet an accident or maybe going through some disease or something like that. So is it that human mind is fearful of those sufferings because of which they are afraid of this whole concept of death, and how to eliminate that?
So your question is why people are afraid of death? Correct?
Basically, because this is associated with these pains.
It is not just pain. See, what happens is we are in our comfort zone in this world. Some bank balance is there, some land is there, house is there, people are there whom I love. So death is something which takes away everything in one shot. It takes me away from my comfort zone, and it puts me in an uncertain zone. I really don't know, what will happen to me after death. So this fear of uncertainty and this separating me from my beloved ones, separating me from all my, attainments in life, awards, rewards, recognition. I have gathered an image about myself. People respect me, love me, and there are so many things which I have achieved. Everything is gone in one shot. So there is a sorrow there. Whatever I have attained, I'm going to lose. And where am I going to go? That also I don't know. So it is not just the pain of death. There are so many other things also, if you stay in one house for a long time and then when you shift your house, you will find that for few days your mind is, constantly attached to that old house. Yes or no? With people it happens, with house it happens, with place there is some kind of what you call a nostalgia.
Actually, Swamiji, this is a coincidence that now I am packing my things and I am shifting because of my husband's transfer from one city to another. And I'm really worried that next house, jo hai na, that should be friendly for all of us, energetically and everything. So your explanation, it really kind of like resonated with my current situation.
So this is the thing.
And to add to this, we keep getting those dreams. Old house.
Correct. Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Swamiji.
Okay, let me see if there's anybody else. I think we have finished. There is one more person, Jaideep ji. Jaideep, yeah, sorry. Go ahead, Jaideep. You have to unmute.
You have to unmute.
Yes, Swamiji, I'm Veenu here. I have logged in with my husband's name, so sorry about that. I have this question that I see many youngsters are getting into addiction, especially of drinking. Okay, whether they are not happy with their careers or they are having a breakup, they get into addiction. So how to channelize their energies towards Agni Vidya? Is it our role to encourage them or inspire them or tell them to get into? But what if they are not listening to us? Then what need to be done?
Amma, first of all, we must have a clear understanding why they are suffering.
Okay.
Why are they suffering? You see, when negative thoughts are there in the mind, you have to suffer. You have no choice. And when the thoughts are good, there is joy. And we don't have a choice. We are happy only in happiness. We cannot desire sorrow. We desire only happiness. Okay? Because happiness is our nature. Peace is our nature. Joy is our nature. So we cannot but desire joy, peace, happiness, etc. Now what happens is they are miserable and they don't know how to come out of the misery because of so many reasons. They don't know. And then they take to drinks, etc. And what do these drinks, drugs, etc. do? They quieten the mind forcefully. This is what these addictive substances do. They make the mind forcefully quiet. So when the mind is quiet, you experience happiness. And you think happiness is given by these drugs. It is not the drugs which is giving, it is just quietening the mind. So if I can, through right means, quieten the mind through meditation, etc., then that will be the best way, because that is a natural way and it has no side effects. So this way we have to make them understand what actually they are going through. So you have a natural way of gaining happiness. You have an unnatural way of gaining happiness. Unnatural way will have all the side effects, all the addictions and all problems. Your health will go, your everything will go. Whereas natural way of happiness, that is what and it can give you much higher intensity of happiness for a longer period of time.
Yeah.
Right? So this is what spirituality is aiming at. Yes, it is our birthright to be happy. Everyone wants to be happy. It is our birthright, but there is a right way. So first of all, we must understand what is the wrong way, which we are practicing, because of which today I am miserable. So correct yourself from the wrong way, practice the right way, then happiness is yours. So this way we must tell these youngsters, make them understand what are the defects of wrong way, what are the advantages of right way. So once they are inspired, then they will naturally develop the willpower to break away from all the addictions and walk the right path.
Great. Thank you so much, Swamiji. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om.
I think questions are over. Beautiful session, Swamiji. Thank you so much.
Hari Om.
Swamiji.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Hari Om.
As you rightly said, that fear leads to worshipping, prayers, because that is what I see. And generally, we people do that, most of it. And that's how
Yes.
it leads to it.
Yes.
You so rightly said it.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Pranam.
Hari Om.
And
Hari Om.
Thank you so much, Swamiji. Thank you. It was a beautiful session. Today, so many sixers have happened, all those takeaways. So many of them. It's such a beautiful session. Thank you so much.
thank you, Urvi, for making the notes for today.
Yes.
And Swamiji's class in May is going to be postponed. We're going to have 2 classes in June. Swamiji will let us know the dates. So everybody, please keep this in mind. Okay, and we will just reorganize the entire schedule for Thinking Thursday. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye-bye.
Closing